one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass. If you saw my last video, you'll know that I'm currently in Italy. Well, you may have been wondering, how did I get there? So today, I'm taking you back in time to the day that I drove from London to Italy in my Ferrari 360. Now, I wasn't really planning on doing any kind of big road trips or adventures in this car this year, because if you've been watching my recent videos, you'll know that next year, this car is 20 years old. Yes, it's 20th birthday in 2022. So in the recent months, kind of been doing a bit of a sympathetic restoration. We restored some of the interior sort of switches and buttons, and also restored some of the mechanical components, added a Bluetooth adapter to the stereo, the car had a full service, I replaced the windscreen, I fitted winter tyres. There's still a few more things that I want to do, but I got an invite from Shell and Ferrari to attend the Finale Mondiale event, and it was too good an invite to turn down, to take the 360 back to its homeland ahead of its 20th birthday next year. So right now I'm in a queue waiting to board my train at the Eurotunnel, which will take me into France, and then I'll have a 730 odd mile journey down to Milan, where the Four Seasons Milan, an incredible hotel, have offered to put me up for the night and invited me to try their pizza contemporanea. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's their contemporary pizza, a modern interpretation of a pizza. And you might go like, what? That sounds weird, but it's Italy, it's the Four Seasons, it's gonna be delicious. So whilst there are many reasons for today's trip, I am essentially driving to Italy for a pizza. I mean, that sounds totally worth it, right? To admit, I had forgotten how good a cruiser this car is. Honestly, I am eating up the miles, and it may surprise you, but these carbon seats are so comfortable. You just kind of sink into them. Speed limit's a little bit higher in France than in the UK, so I'm cruising around sort of 80, just over 80 miles an hour. I reckon I'm doing about 300 miles a tank. I don't have an onboard trip computer in this car. I guess a little bit too old for that technology, so I'm having to sort of estimate things myself, but my fuel gauge has like 10 bars, and I reckon each bar represents around 30 miles of range at the moment. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I love French service stations. Honestly, you can always find somewhere to park up and have your lunch, and okay, it's kind of got a bit foggy now, but usually they're in a super sort of scenic location. It makes driving through France so much easier. And I was thinking just now, you know what, I've become so used to doing these big sort of 10-hour, 1,000-mile journeys. I mean, heck, a few years ago during Drive the World, I felt like I was doing them every other day. And in non-COVID times, I'm probably doing one of these big trips every few months. But I realize for some of you out there, it may seem like a bit of a daunting idea. Maybe you've got to do a big road trip for work, or you're planning an epic adventure and you're thinking, heck, could I do a 10-hour drive in one day? So I thought I'd kind of share some of my tips, my advice, or maybe even just my experiences of doing these big, long journeys, so that maybe it will help you planning future road trips. So first up, time management. If you've got a 10-hour drive to do, try as hard as you can to allow yourself 12 hours to do it. That may mean leaving earlier or arriving later, but the one thing you really want to avoid during a sort of long road trip is stress. I mean, it's not always going to be possible, I fully realise that, but if you can build in that sort of extended time window, it's going to make the journey so much more manageable. You want to be as mellow as possible on a long 10-hour, 1,000-mile road trip. So yeah, try if you can to build in that window. Secondly, snacks. Now this is actually not a joke. I buy myself a super expensive bag of snacks. If you don't know about Whole Foods here in the UK at least, well, it's a rip-off, but I'm that kind of idiot. And there's sort of multiple reasons why. Having snacks with you in the car stops you from getting really hungry and going, oh, I need to find a service station, I need to pull over somewhere, and getting annoyed by how far the next service station is. So if you have food with you, it again keeps your mood super chill. And then also food at service stations, we know, can sometimes be a bit hit and miss. Here in France, the service station food is pretty bang on, but I'm weird, I like certain odd food. And I mean, for example, right here, I've got myself a lovely chicken teriyaki rice kind of thing. I've got my energy drink and then a cookie. And if you're all horrified by the fact that I'm putting this on the Ferrari paint, this car is getting repainted at some point, so stay tuned. But yeah, food important. Porsche, years ago, in the build-up to Drive the World, gave me some great advice of food you should or shouldn't drink on these kind of trips. Popcorn was the weirdest one that they said is a really good thing for keeping your energy levels kind of high on a longer journey. So third bit of advice, what you listen to. I will recommend podcasts until the end of time, and if you're looking for a new podcast to enjoy, check out mine, Behind the Glass. But no, in all seriousness, podcasts not only help pass the time so quickly, but they keep your mind engaged. Personally, if I listen to music, and I love listening to music, I do kind of switch off. I start thinking about other things, and it's very easy to get a bit distracted. Whilst I find if I'm listening to a podcast, I'm so engaged in the story, I'm just focused and concentrating a lot more. It keeps my brain in the right kind of mentality. So F1's Beyond the Grid, I listen to every single episode of that. Bring Back V10's another kind of F1 focused podcast, and I really enjoy Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert, which kind of in-depth interviews with Hollywood celebs. So yeah, those are my three go-tos, but you can always find new podcasts to enjoy. And actually, as a community, let's help each other out. Comment below what your favourite podcasts to listen to in the car are, because there are great ones out there. And then finally, allow yourself breaks. And I know that seems like a sort of obvious thing to say and something that maybe a high school teacher would tell you, but breaks are super important. I've been pulled over here now for about 35, 40 minutes, and it's really not stressing me out, because point number one, time management. Yes, I'm trying to get to the Four Seasons for this amazing pizza, but I said that I'd be there between sort of 8:30, 9, when actually my arrival time as I got off the Eurotunnel was like 7:45. I've got loads of time. I'm chilling. I'm doing pieces of camera. I'm going to have my lunch now, catch up on some emails, and then I'll crack on. And it's allowing yourself that ability to get out, breathe some fresh air, stretch, and just mellow out. Keep the mellow vibes, people. So yes, anyway, that's what I'm going to do right now. Enjoy my lunch, and then we'll get back in the car and keep cracking on down towards Italy.
Oh, this is the best moment of the trip so far. Oh, this car!
Oh my God! This place is amazing! Oh yes. If you don't know, I have a bit of a low-key obsession with four-season hotels. I've never actually been to the one here in Milan, but this is my room and it's beautiful, it's amazing. It's always the little details at the Four Seasons hotels. I'm a little frustrated that I've arrived at night. I actually hate arriving anywhere at night because you never really get a sense of where you are. But parked the 360 perfectly right out front, and the guys in the valet said, "Oh, I think we'll keep this one here, sir." So that's amazing. And I just had a look outside and this incredible sort of courtyard. So I think I'm going to wake up and get even more shots of this place because it's pretty awesome. But a long old day on the road, so I am now craving that pizza. So here we go then, not as kind of quirky as I thought. Essentially you've got bits of sort of, well, I guess, fancier focaccia style pizza bases there, and then all the sort of tomatoes in the middle, like a sandwich, and then you've got this incredible aged ham on top. So it does still kind of resemble some kind of pizza, and not a traditional format pizza, but I'm all for it. The taste is amazing. It's more like bruschetta than pizza because I'm missing all the cheese, but super crispy bread. The ham, this ham is next level. I'm going to be in a serious carb coma. I'm just going to pass out. I'm going to go back upstairs to that room and pass out, aren't I? So worth it. I'm encouraging all of you, drive to Milan, have a fancy pizza. Both of these cars are fitted with manual gearboxes from the factory.
I'm kind of pooing myself, but here we go.